EU proposes government ID to use the internet. Done, done, done. Infowars.com, prisonplanet.com. And here is the document. European Commission, COM 2016-288/2, communication from the Commission. And by the way, the unelected Commission does the laws. The Parliament is ceremonial and advisory. Wow, this is a dictatorship. The Commission has spoken. The self-appointed commission that commands through the barrel of a 7.6239 round. And you ask, why are they doing it now? Because they're getting ready to implode the economy and launch big wars and try to start race wars and sectarian wars. I mean, they have got a blueprint. I mean, you can feel it in your gut. But I've gone from, in my spider sense, my sixth sense, my discernment, my spirit, from being, oh, get ready, God, to like now just feeling energized, because now I can tell it's on, folks. It's all, and any fears that I was ever misleading anybody and was ever exaggerating have just peeled back, and my confidence has spiked even more, because unfortunately I know we are in an epic battle, because when they shut down the free speech, they're coming for everything, and these people are bloodthirsty. Look what they do to Christians everywhere they're in control. Kit Daniels, Infowars.com report. I want to say good job getting this out there. I know this just came out like a day ago, but I mean, where is this? Well, I mean, I don't want to be the one ringing the alarm most of the time up front. That is not a good feeling, you know, to use a Vietnam analogy where they just say for, you know, year after year, you're going to walk in the front every day. I'm like, hey, how about somebody else? Oh, good, somebody else wants to be in the front today. It's not that I'm a coward. It just doesn't seem like good luck. Kit Daniels.
This is exactly it. This is neo-feudalism. This is a way to tax and control the internet. They don't want Matt Drudge with influence, you know, spreading ideas of liberty on the internet. They don't want Alice.
Federal Elections Commission came out and said go after Drudge last week. See, they're all exactly.
They want to turn the internet back into what television was like in the 1960s, where they only had a handful of stations and they controlled everything.
And I've not even stated, so I'm mad at myself, kid. I haven't even stated how big this is, and I've always said this forever. When they come out with the internet ID, that's to restrict you, to rate you, to ban you, to track you, to tax you. This is the end of the internet as we know.
I mean, think about it this way. Facebook and Twitter is already 1/3 of the internet. Where's all the internet traffic's going? It's going straight to Facebook. That's just like a TV station in the 1960s that they control, where they can control the narrative. They can control what's spread. They use PC suppression to
exactly.
You know, to destroy any competition to the government.
They're carving up the web now. Go over your article. I mean, you've got the subsections. This is devastatingly evil.
Yeah. One thing I brought that really bothered me about this document is the fact that they're using, it says, the proliferation of online video sharing platforms, the content that is harmful to minors and of hate speech. Yeah, but like
they're going to mix soft porn, but they're going to leave all the big Viacom and Sony women shaking their rear ends, you know, and bikinis. That's okay. But absolutely, they're going to mix political speech in with porn and ban us. They admit it.
Yeah, but like I said on Monday, the EU is the ones that are deciding what is hate speech. And to them, hate speech is just anything that...
An unelected group of admitted communists and socialists working for above-the-law megabanks.
Yeah, anything that runs contrary to their agenda is hate speech to them.
You're not allowed to criticize the migrants raping women or they come arrest you.
Yeah. Or even if you want to spread, say, Austrian economics online, that's hate speech to them.
Drudge is right. They first are putting us into internet ghettos, and then after you're in a ghetto and dehumanized and made poor, and everybody forgets about you and segregated, then you're moved to the electronic concentration camp. So now they're moving to the... I'm not kidding, folks. I mean, we're in a Mayday emergency situation.
Yeah, on Monday, I believe, when I saw this article on Drudge, when I woke up in the morning, this Bloomberg article... But what really bothered me about it was how bad they downplayed it.
Oh, they sell it like exactly. It's real. Oh, we're going to, you know, anything cultural, racial, or religious, we're sorry. You're just going to be banned. Sorry. And
it's like, oh, yeah, well, we're going to just make more censorship. You know,
and the tech companies all just announced in the last 24 hours they're going to sign an agreement with the EU to let them direct. Oh, and Facebook already beta tested hiring former Stasi commanders. It's all seamless integration. They're merging the tech giants with the global government. The Asia-Pacific Union, through the TPP, merges the Atlantic Union, which is the NAU, North American Union, and the European Union. They are merging the 3 super states with the 10 sub-regions now, with 10 sub-regions per region directly out of Revelations.
Yeah, what's really bizarre to me is the one world government they're pushing is an electronic super state. I mean, think about it this way. You said this on the broadcast a couple of weeks ago about how Facebook is transforming our culture. You no longer see national identities or culture because everyone's going on Facebook. So now you have what they call a global culture.
Folks, I cannot put a bad enough face on this, but we need a bad face on it to wake up to it, to overthrow the facade in our own minds and realize we are being overtaken by a group of psychopaths that are building an artificial reality to insert us into it so that we're anesthetized and culturally numbed when we're put through the shredder. And it's going to be done incrementally. But the final group will be the elites not controlled by the globalists. And you will wish later you would have joined me in the fight against these people. You've got the know-how, the capacity. You know I'm telling the truth. But you don't have enough faith in humanity to make a stand. You'd rather go play golf and go have sex with your mistress and, you know, go do whatever it is and just hope everything's okay. It's not going to be okay. Be a man, be a woman, stand up, speak out, do something.
There you go. That is the report from EU proposes government ID to use internet. Pretty insane stuff, and hopefully that will get pushed back. It is a proposal, so time to raise some alarm. Now, Bloomberg put out something today that is actually really, really great. And I think we could pull it up on screen because I had to print out a screenshot. It's the Fed's secret liquidity lifelines. And I've talked about before here when I'm invited to guest host on this show about the billions of dollars that I thought it was billions, that we give banks in taxpayer funding. They make, I think it was $183 billion a year in taxpayer funding that goes towards their profit centers, or $83 billion. Anyway, so now we have some new information from Bloomberg. Again, this is from Bloomberg. The Fed's secret liquidity lifelines. And it says, the U.S. Federal Reserve mounted an unprecedented campaign to head off a depression by providing as much as 1.2, not billion, trillion in public money to banks and other companies from August 2007 through April 2010. The emergency loans were intended to help recipients cope with cash shortfalls and keep credit markets from grinding to a halt. Bloomberg News sorted through more than 29,000 pages of previously secret documents and Fed spreadsheets detailing more than 21,000 loans to compile a database showing which companies got the emergency liquidity and when. So this is just even what they found. And they found $1 trillion in taxpayer money sent to these banks, corporations. So some of these include Morgan Stanley, which looks to be at about $110 billion, Citigroup, about $100 billion, Bank of America, Royal Bank of Scotland, State Street Corp., Goldman Sachs, J.P. Morgan, Barclays, Merrill Lynch, the usual. Now, what's amazing here is that I'm not against business. I'm not against growth. I'm not against good businesses, even corporations that have made some mistakes. But if they're overall heading in the right direction, if it's overall not completely corrupt, I would love a billion-dollar company to do good things in the world. I would love to support a company that's huge. I'm not one of those people that just because it's a corporation, it's evil. I'm just against corporations that want to do us harm for profits or want to loot and destroy the system for profits. And unfortunately, if you've done any research into this, the $1.2 trillion wasn't just to help resuscitate the economy from a little lapse. Even the movie The Big Short did a pretty good job of showing a very, very small fraction of what went on. Nobody went to jail that was actually doing anything. They just looted the entire system. The guys at the top just took as much money as they can. It's almost like they let the fruit grow from the tree of the economy. Like our economy is just a big tree. And they let the succulent apples grow. And as soon as it's slightly able to be eaten, they just rip the all the fruit off the tree. They just rip the tree dry. They just go around picking all the apples and eating them until they throw up and vomit everywhere. When other people are standing around saying, hey, give me some fruit. And I'm not promoting communism or socialism. I'm against the deep corruption of the bank systems that are getting $1.2 trillion, not to resuscitate the economy. It's because they looted it and destroyed it. And then they get money as reprimandation. Oh, here you go. Here's $1.2 million. I can't even say it, okay? I can't even say it, apparently. It's $1.2 trillion from us, from me, from you, to these companies, these banks. And the companies don't even pay taxes. It's all a big joke. And I'm for business. I'm an entrepreneur. I love growth. But that is a big joke. So I wanted to update you on that. It's not billions. Here's a story that caught my eye as well. So you've heard about the oceans basically being flooded with BPA plastics and the little nanoplastics and everything and the total insanity that's going on. Fish eat plastic like teens eat fast food, researchers say. This is from BBC. Young fish become hooked on eating plastic in the seas in the same way that teenagers prefer unhealthy fast food, Swedish researchers have said. Their study reported in Science found exposure to high concentrations of polystyrene makes perch larvae favor the particles over more natural foods. So the fish are now swimming around on a binge for plastic. They've been completely rewired. They now want to eat the plastic that is killing them and destroying sea life. They want to eat the plastic. And there's a picture, pulled on the screen, of its digestive system, this little fish larva. And it's got all these little plastic balls in its intestines, where there should obviously be real food. As a result of the exposure to plastic, the young perch are smaller, slower, and more susceptible to predators. The researchers called for plastic microbeads to be banned in cosmetics. It's amazing they're not. But it's so exfoliating. It exfoliates me better. Concerns have been growing about the amount of plastic in the seas in recent years. A study that came out last year estimated that about 8 million tons of plastic waste enters the oceans annually. When exposed to UV radiation, chemical degradation, and the movement of the waves, this plastic breaks down into tiny pieces. Those smaller than 5 millimeters are referred to as microplastics. The term also covers plastic microbeads for personal care products. Scientists have been worried that these tiny fragments can build up in the guts of marine creatures and they can leach toxic chemicals. Oh, yeah, like the toxic chemicals they're leaching to us, too. Like when you drink that water bottle that has been sitting in a warehouse that's 90 degrees for 2 months before it was shipped out to the center that it's now being sold from, whether it's a Walmart, H-E-B, Whole Foods, whatever, and it's nice and crisp and cold. Have you ever drank a water bottle and tasted the stinging plastic taste that you get? I can't even drink it. I'd rather be dehydrated. It tastes like I am drinking molten plastic. And the fish are being destroyed by this. They're being hormonally wrecked. The estrogen mimickers in the plastic, the BPA plastic, who's, by the way, Dr. Group's father is the one that has one of the patents responsible for that. He worked with Exxon, I believe it was. It's an amazing story. And that's how Dr. Group got into all this, because his dad started to realize it was bad for you, and they chose the very plastic that has the BPA in it because, oh, you got to save money, right? Instead of the good plastics. So no one is doing anything about it. In the FDA or anything. They looked at it, they reviewed it, they said, oh, it's harmful to kids, it could be harmful, but we're going to keep doing it anyway. There's 180 studies, if I recall correctly, that link BPA to breast cancer. Susan G. Komen for the Cure would rather push Kentucky Fried Chicken bowls. I don't know, maybe we could pull that up. Sorry, I keep making you guys pull up the stuff, but look up Susan G. Komen KFC breast cancer bowls. They had Kentucky Fried Chicken bowls. Pink bowls of fried chicken. You can't make this stuff up. And they sold that for breast cancer awareness, Susan G. Komen. And I challenged them. I said, please talk about BPA. I wrote an article about it. I had like 50,000 shares on Facebook. Please talk about the BPA, the bisphenol A, and the BPS that's causing cancer. It's on screen. Fried chicken for the cure, ? Asks ABC News. Yeah, they did that. They did pink buckets of fried chicken for the cure, which probably contained BPA. But they won't acknowledge BPA. You know, it's good. It's killing the fish, and you're getting it in your water bottle. The answer, by the way, is just either get a water filtration system or drink out of glass. Or go to Whole Foods and buy the huge thing of double distilled or reverse osmosis water. It's like $1. It's very, very cheap. You can get well water. There's a million things you could do, but there's no reason to be drinking what tastes like molten plastic when you put it up to your lips. It's totally insane. Anyway, I'll be back with the next segment. I'm Anthony Gucciardi. This is the 4th hour of the Alex Jones Show. More to come. More news.
Are you sneezing, coughing, and aching? Do you have a sore throat, a fever, or the sniffles? There's no reason to be sick this cold and flu season with immune system support from Supernatural Silver. Supernatural Silver can give your body the help it needs to fight off harmful pathogens without hurting beneficial gut flora. and without leaving behind resistant bacteria. Antibiotics can damage good microflora and often leave behind bacteria which can cause problems later on.